it's Vicky, and today I'm here to share my reading plans for August. I can't believe that we are already talking about August. I feel like July where did July go? It just flew by. And yeah. So yeah, with summer winding down and stuff, I have a couple of books that I kind of wanted for this time of year. So I made sure to put them on the TBR for this month. And yeah, let's get into it. So the first book that I am planning to read in August, I'm pretty excited about because this was an anticipated read, and I put it on hold at my library when I heard about it, and I was first in line, so right when it came out, I was the first one to get it, and it's The Daughter of Dr Moreau by Silvia Moreno Garcia. And this cover, I know there's kind of a glare because it's, you know, got the library thing on it, but I love this cover. It's one of my favorite covers of this year. It's just so vibrant and just pretty, and I just love it. Anyway, this one I wanted to read because it is I don't know if it's a retelling, reimagining, whatever phrase you want to use, for H.G. Wells' story, The Island of Dr. Moreau, which I read in college, and so I enjoyed it. And so I kind of want to see what Silvia Moreno Garcia does with it, because the original story is about a guy who gets shipwrecked on this island, and there's this doctor there who is doing some experiments, we'll just say, and has some interesting creatures, we'll just say, because I don't know if it's spoilery to say what they are or anything. So in this one, it sounds like by the synopsis, it's got a similar vibe, but it takes place in Mexico. So, and I'm not sure the time period though, if it's like 19th century or when, but yeah. So I'm intrigued. I want to read it. It sounds cool, so I'm gonna read it. The next book I want to read, I put on my TBR because I am trying to be better about my goals this year. When I did my like Q2 stats, I noticed that in Q2 I was not doing very well with my goals, and this was one of them. So I put it on my August TBR. I'm going to be reading Desperation by Stephen King because I have a goal this year to read at least 5 new to me Stephen King books. And so far this year, I've only read 2 Stephen King books, one of which was a reread, so that doesn't count towards my 5. So yeah, I'm kind of sucking at that goal. So I'm also trying to read his books in order, and this one is next in line. So I don't know anything about this except that it's about a town called Desperation. So I don't know if it's a Dark Tower related book. I don't know anything. All I know is it's kind of a chunky paperback. This one is over 500 pages, but I want to read it, so I need to read it, and I'm gonna read it. The next book that I want to read for August is one that I specifically wanted to read in the summertime because of sort of the subject matter, the plot, whatever. And it is called Burnt Offerings by Robert Marasco. And this one is, I think it was written in the 70s, if I remember right. And it's about a couple that live in, I think they live in New York, like it might even be like Manhattan or Brooklyn, like one of the, you know, New York City. And they one summer are kind of sick of the city, and they want to rent a like summer place. And I think is it in upstate New York where they go? Yes. So they rent this mansion in upstate New York. They get it for a really good price, which is kind of sketchy, but they go there and it's very, like I said, very cheap. And part of the reason is because there's this old lady there that, like, as a term of them staying there, they have to feed her every day or something. And to me, that just sounds really creepy. Like, being a person that has, you know, rented like Airbnbs and stuff in areas, that would be a no for me. Like a definite, like, if that was like in the listing or whatever, I would say no way, man, I'm not doing it. I'm not staying in a house where there's like a creepy old lady like tucked away in a bedroom and I have to feed her. Like, I don't know, that just sounds terrifying. I really wanted to save this for summer for that reason, so I'm gonna be reading this one. I hope it's fun. The next book that I want to read is going to fulfill the buzzword reading challenge for me for August, because the buzzword for August is items, which is a pretty open sort of word or buzzword. And this one though, I really want to read because I have had this book on my shelves for a couple years now, and it's time. It's time. So I'm going to be reading The Pearl That Broke Its Shell. So it kind of has two item words in it. This is by Nadia Hashimi, and this is about, it takes place in the early 2000s in Afghanistan, and it's about a young girl named Rahima, who is the oldest in her family, and she just has sisters. And she, because there are no males in her family, she is allowed to take part in this custom in her culture called, and I know I'm going to say it wrong, so I apologize, Bachapash, which is where she can basically go about her life, live her life as if she were a boy. So she gets all of those perks, if you will, allowances, if you will, that as a girl she would not get. But she gets that because of this custom, and she can live that way until she's of marriageable age. So it kind of gives her an insight into what it's like to be a boy in her culture. And it just sounds really interesting. I've heard that this is really good, beautifully written. And so, like I said, I've had it on my TBR a couple of years, so it's time to read it. And then the last book that I'm going to be reading for August is a Kindle book, because I'm going to try the rest of the year to make sure I put a Kindle book on my TBR every month, because that is a goal this year, to read more books from my Kindle, and I've been utterly sucking at that goal. And so in order to make it a priority, I feel like if I put it on a TBR, then it will happen, because I tend to read the books that I put on my TBR. So the book that I chose from my Kindle to read this month is These Ghosts Are Family by Maisie Card. And this is I want to say it's like a contemporary, maybe like literary fiction about a Jamaican family who I want to say the dad in the family has been harboring this secret for 30 years, which was basically, and it says this in the blurb, it's not a spoiler, that he, 30 years in the past, faked his own death and has since been living his life. He took the identity of his best friend, I'm assuming who died. And so he has this big secret, and he's about to share it with his family. And it's about them reacting to that and all of that. So I've heard really good things about this one, and it has, you know, the family drama, which I tend to like, family secrets, which I tend to like. So I think it's going to be good. And then I did want to just make a quick announcement regarding the Random Reads Book Club. I just wanted to let you guys know that Bobby and I have decided to put the book club on hiatus for now. For various reasons. We just are going to stop doing it for a little bit. So, yeah, so we don't have a book for August because we are going to go on hiatus. So when we decide to bring the book club back, though, I will definitely let you guys know. And yeah, that's it. So those are my reading plans for August. It's a pretty good mix, I think. And some of the books, like I said, have been really like wanting to read for years. So it needs to happen. And yeah, let me know what you're planning to read in August. What kind of books are you putting on your TBRs to kind of wind down your summer a little bit? I would love to know what everybody's reading. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will talk with you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.